Hello everyone. Before we will start this lesson, I recommend you to learn and read a little bit about the theory behind how to create mesh in Unity and OpenGL. There are lots of vertex and node. If you are reading this, you can read the text to section either. It will help you to understand what I'm doing because I will never explain it as good as they did it in this tutorial. So this URL will be in the description of this video. It will do you really good to just sit and look at it. So now let's start with the Unity program. All I have here is Skybox that I downloaded from the Unity Asset Store. It's free and you can download any skyboxes that you want to. And in my water program, I have a texture that will talk about it in the later section. So now let's just open a normal C# script, and let's call it, this script will create the mesh, our C mesh. So because we want to put it inside any game object, empty game object, and let it run without anything to do, we need to specify the require for this class. If you are a little bit know about Unity, it will not be complicated in any way. Now we have the require stuff for this class. We don't need the update, and we will start creating the mesh. So we will need create a new mesh object, and if you add the section I let you to read in the start of the lesson, you know that every mesh needs four elements to be rendered. The first one is an array of dots that represents the place of the node in the world. The second one is a UV that puts the texture on the mesh and makes the mesh look realistic. In our lesson, it will just be a square, so it will be really simple to do. We need the indexes, and again, you need to know it from the article we just read, and the normal. The normal is required for the shader section. We need to do lots of math operation to know the we know reflection and where the sun come and lots of stuff like it. We will talk about it when we will write the shader script. For now, we will just put it, and it's pretty simple because we're doing a simple square. So so we will start from the dot. Let's just see it. No, pretty bad. Okay, so now we have it in the correct order. So before we start the no with the dots, to create the dot, I want just to show you how it will be look. It will be something like this. We have our nodes. Lots of nodes will create one square. We need all of this node inside the single square so we can see the sea go up and down like and have waves like a real sea. There are nothing to do with the square I just draw. And to see each and to get for each node, we have this equation, pretty simple. And like this, we can go to any node we want in our little square. So let's just write this. And to get the list data structure, we need here to specify generic. Oh, and for us to do any size of the square and that it will be relevant for any size of C, we will just let the user decide which size of C he wants. And we'll start it with 200. I don't think you can do more than 250 because Unity give you for each mesh no more than 65,000 nodes, but it doesn't matter because you can just duplicate it and put it one near the other and it will be look like one big C. And we need to insert the dot. No. And it's important to understand that the eye of the sea will be calculated inside the shader, so there are no reason to put here any value because it will be changed anyway in the Y section. And now the UV, because it's a simple square, if we will go back to our picture, I have this polygon, it's a square, and I have a texture, there are 2D picture. I just need to show X polygon in which how the texture warp or wow, how I don't know how to say it in English, on this polygon. So I will just give any value from 0 to 1 that will be inside each polygon. Not too complicated, you had to read it here. So let's get started. You could do anything in one function and do only one for loop and do it much more better in the time in runtime, but it doesn't really matter because you're doing it only once in the start of the game and it much more understandable like it. So you can change it and put it anything in one for loop, but I think it's disgusting. Oh, I forgot to put the list. Of because the array is from 0 to less than res 6, you need to divide it, no divide, subtract it by 1. Nothing too complicated. Okay, I think it's good enough. Now I will probably forget it, so I will do it now. Now here we created the mesh, but we never put the mesh inside the object, so we just do a lot of calculation and really not put it anywhere, and the program will not use it. So we need to insert it inside the actual mesh that we build here. It's just a syntax way to do this, so just like it. Now we need to start the indexes. Indexes is the most complicated thing in this section. Here are our mesh, and we need to create lots of triangles to do this, to make this mesh wall one mesh. So if you read this article, if you didn't read the article, here now the time to do it, because I really can't explain it this well. My English will not afford me to do it. But just the mathematical theory behind it, I will connect the node like and now, and it doesn't matter which side it will be in I and j and this equation. So, but the big idea is do something like it, and then do another one like it, and just fill the object in the same way. You always, every loop of the for, you're doing uh, one square and two triangles, and in this way you just fill the whole mesh. Just after I will write it, just stop, look on it, and you will just understand how it works. But it took me something like 25 minutes to debugging and make this work correctly. So we need to do two triangles and it little bit and in the end we need to return the array. Okay, we have the indexes. It's not too complicated to understand, a little complicated to do it yourself or to get to it, but it's nothing too complicated in the end. And the final thing is the normal, because we have the square in the beginning, just a flat square, and afterwards the shader do its calculation. We need to make any normal look upward, so it just for loops that will create the normal lookup. So we finish our script. Let's just see that it will be work. We will go to Unity. We will create a simple shader, a simple material, just so that we will be able to see our C mesh. Material. Afterward, we will put our shader inside this material, and let's just give color. We will put an empty object inside our scene, and let's put our script and the text, not the texture, the material, and it's not working. What is problem? It's problem. Here, get indexed, get indexed. Oh, I am okay. I'm sorry. There was a mistake because it's going from 0 to 1 behind in the for loop, and here I'm doing the calculation for me and for the next square. If you can hear, we're doing 1, 2, 3, and where we coming here, we're doing this square, this triangle, and this triangle, and afterwards we're going to this section, and this section doesn't have anything here. So we need to put here a subtract 1. So now we have to work. Yes, it is. It's our mesh. It doesn't doing anything too great, but we create our first mesh for as much polygon as we want. And in the next tutorial, we will start to create the shader and create our mesh little bit more realistic. So see you next time.